Now, the Lord has spoken with me, beloved listeners. I want you to know that the Lord, the God of Israel, He has spoken with me, Jehovah Elohim, our eternal Creator, Jehovah Adonai, the Sovereign Lord, Jehovah Elyon, the Lord Most High, Jehovah El Olam, the everlasting God Almighty. He has spoken with me today, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And in this conversation this night, the Lord has spoken to me about the coming of the Messiah. And in this tremendous continuing conversation between heaven and earth regarding the coming of the Messiah, this is what the Lord has spoken. And the Lord has spoken in an open way. It is not concealed or veiled in any form. And this is regarding the glorious coming of the Messiah and the events that are now happening on the earth. I see a country, and that country, I see a mountain on that country. And that mountain is exalted, mounted. Up on top of the mountain, there are roads to go up the mountain. And that country, I see mining activity going on. And there are lots of big caterpillars and tractors and tipper lorries, these lorries that scoop things and put on their back and go. And they're carrying some stones. There is mining activity ongoing in that country. And then a tremendous historic earthquake strikes that land.
Nepalese parliament in session.
And then a tremendous historic earthquake strikes that land.
This is CNN Breaking News.
This is what it was like inside a restaurant in Kathmandu when the earthquake struck. Customers enjoying a meal on an ordinary day, then suddenly people frantically running toward the door as the ground beneath them trembles. The force of the tremor so great, it pulls them from side to side as they struggle to escape. Here's another look from that restaurant, people barely able to stand up as they try to get out of the building. And this was the scene of the quake from Tibet. These trucks on the bridge wobble and power lines jerk violently as dust rises up through the air.
And then a tremendous historic earthquake strikes that mountain.
The ground is shaking. Oh, that's a hurry.
Frightening moments on Mount Everest. A climber captures the moment that an avalanche buries base camp. Crowds of people run toward their tents as a cloud of snow rushes forward. Unbelievable moments as the snow piles up on top of them. One climber, completely exhausted and overwhelmed by what he just survived. You can hear the shock and fear in his voice as another man tries to calm him.
Come on in my jacket. Come on in my jacket. Are you okay? Yeah.
For the first time, we're seeing dramatic video from near the top of the world, base camp at Mount Everest, the moment the massive earthquake struck.
The ground is shaking. Whoa, whoa!
The quake triggered a huge avalanche, climbers sent scrambling for safety. It was the deadliest day in nearly 100 years of expeditions on the world's highest peak.
The ground is moving and the rocks are coming down, but then it continued a bit longer, and it was very worrying. It was a huge earthquake, and for the past 48 hours we've been experiencing tremors and shakes.
It's seen as one of man's greatest challenges, but not even Mount Everest could withstand the power of the 7.8 magnitude earthquake. A wall of snow and rock was unleashed onto base camp, and those waiting to conquer its peak.
Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, look straight ahead. You need to go in the tents or what? That is look, look. Do we need to go in the tent? Do we need to go inside?
And this is the immediate aftermath. The survivors can't believe what they're seeing. At the outer edges, the tents have been buried or ripped to shreds. This open expanse of snow is the center of the disaster.
Dead bodies.
Beneath it are people. When this was filmed, many were still alive, half buried in snow. The heavy breathing isn't just the altitude, it's shock.
And then a tremendous historic earthquake strikes that mountain. Some of the rocks come and hurt people.
A rock slide caused by the quake. This was a real concern, is a real concern for authorities in Nepal. Boulders.
That huge earthquake shakes the elevators high up on top of the building, tall building. There's tremendous risk, tremendous danger because I see the building. I am almost falling from top. as the earthquake shakes and breaks open the building. And there are lots of big caterpillars and tractors and tipper lorries. These lorries that scoop things and put on their back and go. They're carrying some stones also, I see. Mining activity going on. Mining activity going on. And there are lots of big caterpillars and tractors and tipper lorries. These lorries that scoop things and put on their back and go.
One of the tragedies of Nepal's earthquake is that many of the country's most treasured cultural monuments were destroyed in the blink of an eye. I'm standing in what was the Fashidega temple. It was dedicated to Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction, and now there's very little of it left. This is part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Bhaktapur, a city that was founded in the 12th century. Many of its royal palaces and temples were damaged.
The devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake that violently shook Nepal on the 25th of April cost more than 8,000 lives and left more than 15,000 people injured. The country saw a number of iconic UNESCO World Heritage Sites, some more than 1,700 years old, reduced to piles of rubble. UNESCO says the quake caused extensive and irreversible damage to the country's heritage. Many of the UNESCO World Heritage Site monuments and temples in the Kathmandu Valley were destroyed in the recent earthquake. Bhimsen Tower, also known as the Hara Tower, was popular among tourists who would climb up more than 200 steps to view Kathmandu from the top. It has now been reduced to a stump by the earthquake. The 30 meters tall Hara Tower was reduced to a 9 meters pile of jagged brick after the earthquake. The quake also destroyed buildings in Patan's Durbar Square, a World Heritage Site which was founded in the 3rd century and was known for its exquisite Buddhist and Hindu architecture. Sadly, the Buddhist temple complex at Swayambanath, founded in the 5th century, has also been damaged.
The quake so powerful it leveled centuries-old structures like this Buddhist temple, one of Nepal's holiest places. And here you can see the before and the after, the devastation reaching across 4 countries in Central Asia.
त्यो खुट्टा बाजे खुट्टा के निस्किन पाउँदैन खुट्टा निस्किया हैन
Langtang is reckoned to be one of the most beautiful valleys in the Himalayas, but it is now a scene of almost indescribable horror. I'm on a reconnaissance trip with 2 British Gurkhas to the worst hit village in Nepal. We land at the next village up the valley. At least one British tourist is missing in Langtang, a 23-year-old man. There may be many more. There's lots of damage here, but it is nothing to what is to come. Langtang village was one of the most popular trekking destinations in Nepal and home to 435 people. But there is virtually nothing left. The earthquake caused a massive avalanche and a landslide. It's hard to believe, but 55 hotels and guest houses and the villagers' homes are gone under this great tongue of ice and rock. Just one house remains.
We lost everything.
Did you lose when was the
Yes. My mom and my brothers and whole villages, and they lost everybody. They lost their families, and no one has nothing. Now we have nothing.
Nepalese people who've died, the people from the village. There's a group of people who were working in the village, and then here are the foreigners. And there are 4 bodies here now. While we were there, they recover another body, a young female tourist. The rescue team say it could be weeks before they find them all.
Then a tremendous historic earthquake strikes that land and strikes that mountain.
Euronews has spoken with a leading expert in earthquakes and natural disasters. Efthymios Lekas is a professor of geology at the University of Athens in Greece. He recently spent 5 days in Nepal in the aftermath of the devastating earthquake. He says his information suggests the energy released by the quake was 700 times the power of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
Then a tremendous historic earthquake strikes that land and strikes that mountain.
Well, in the aftermath of April's earthquake in Nepal, we're learning the world's highest mountain experienced more than just avalanches. Chinese officials say Mount Everest was displaced 3 centimeters to the southwest.
Earthquakes of this high 7.9 magnitude are rare. This is the worst to hit this Himalayan nation in over 80 years.